In the previous lesson, we worked with stack layouts. We used box views to create content for that stack layout and demonstrate various attributes and how the layout works. But when we ran it in our simulator, we discovered that we had created too many things and it extended past the bottom of the Samsung Galaxy 9 and even worse on the smaller emulator for Android. So we're going to look at how we can fix that. And we're going to use a scroll view. Now, a scroll view is a layout. Probably should be called scroll layout in my opinion. But a scroll view is a layout that can contain one child. However, that child could be another layout that contains multiple children. So the stack layout that we created would work fine inside a scroll view. We can make that stack layout be scrollable. Very simple to do. I'm going to find the scroll view in the layout section of the toolbox, just drag it over here, and you'll see that my project kind of went haywire here because the stack layout should be inside the scroll view. So we have a beginning and an ending tag for the scroll view. I'm going to take the ending tag and cut it and put it after the stack layout. So now the stack layout is inside the scroll view. I'm going to run this again on the Galaxy 9. Here now is our project. I can use my mouse as a finger and be able to scroll up through the bottom. And I want you to notice two things here. My rectangle, which should have been square, should have been 100 by 100, isn't. I'm going to show you how to fix that using a box view again, just as a placeholder. And same thing up at the top. If I scroll downward, notice this rectangle is a little bit taller than it is wide. And I can also use my scroll wheel on the mouse to scroll up or down. But now the stack layout is scrollable inside our application. I'm going to discontinue, stop debugging. And I'm going to fix that box view up at the top. I'm going to add another box view. In this box view, I'm going to get rid of the background. So use whatever my background color is from the content page. I'm going to set the height request just at 10. And I'm going to copy that box view. I'm going to paste another one here at the very bottom. And I'm going to run it again. And now notice that my rectangle here at the top is no longer stretching out because I've got this other little box view at the very top just to give a little bit of padding. And the same thing at the bottom. I can scroll to the bottom, and again, that little padding of that box view keeps my rectangle looking well. So that's another way you can use a box view just to provide a little bit of padding within a scroll view. Once again, I'm going to stop debugging. And we have the stack layout in the center. There's a horizontal stack layout. I would like to be able to make that scrollable and add some more box views in that particular one. I'm going to get rid of the horizontal options for these box views because we're going to create a bunch more, and they're going to extend more to the left and right than what we'll be able to see. I'm going to select the three box views, copy them, paste them, and I actually want one more, so I have a total of 7. So we now have 7 box views. I'm just going to change the colors here. And I'll make the middle one purple. So it goes red, green, blue, purple, blue, green, red. So we can see in the previewer, they're definitely extending off the page to the right. So we have this stack layout that they're in, which is a horizontal stack layout. I'm going to add a scroll view surrounding the stack layout, but I'm going to give it an orientation of horizontal. And I'm going to copy the closing scroll view tag and put it below the stack layout. I'm going to do one more thing, and that is show you how to use a frame layout. So the stack layout, again, has multiple children. The scroll view only has one, which in this case is the stack layout. The frame layout also only takes one child, but we can put the frame inside the scroll view and the stack layout inside the frame. So I'm going to do a frame. I'm just going to start with just a frame, and we'll make some modifications to it as far as attributes. But again, I'm going to select the closing tag and put that between the closing stack layout and the closing scroll view. I'm just going to maintain the indentation here by just tapping these over. Now, you notice when we created the frame, we got this white frame surrounding the stack layout, which contains all the box view. Now with the frame, there are some other attributes we might use here, one of which is padding. It's a fairly large frame at this point. I'm going to set the padding equal to 5. You notice now we get just a very slight frame around everything. If we change the 5 to 10, that'll give us a little more padding. And then we're going to set a border color. And I'm going to set the border color equal to black. So now I get a little black border around that frame. So a frame is simply another layout that contains one object. In this case, it contains the stack layout, and the stack layout then contains all of our box views. Once again, I'm going to test this. And so here's our app. Again, I can scroll up and down, but I can also scroll in the frame, that stack layout. I can scroll it left to right. Where I see a layout like this used is in the CNN app, in which you can be reading a story, and so the story you can scroll up and down on the story, but the story may contain some images. If there's several images, oftentimes they are in a horizontal scroll within the story.